that in a golf magazine.
Well, it's not Stacy Lewis this time. At least it's Sergio this
She's
time.
in this though. Stacey Lewis is in this. No, it's a Pat Perez "What's in the Bag" feature, and this is really cool.
You're just reading it for the articles, right?
Yeah,
Pat Perez.
yeah. He's what is he? I don't even know. I mean, he's a PGA Tour player, but like I'm trying to think of the word that explains him.
He's about a fourth tier PGA player.
He's an interesting character who got drivers and 3-woods banned at Topgolf in Scottsdale. That's what he did.
What? Already?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that over there. Thanks, Pat. Thanks for doing that. Can't hit driver. He was hitting the ball over the net into the parking lot and breaking car windows apparently, and they stopped allowing us to hit driver and 3-woods.
You're kidding.
No, and he still goes. It's funny because he posts pictures all the time. So now he's trying to get like a 5-wood over, I guess. But he's fun. It actually is a pretty
What does
cool
Jesus Martinez have to say about all that?
He's at a different location, so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't. Maybe I don't know. There's not a resort on the other side of Jesus's Topgolf, but we should get him back on for another Friday Foursome once he gets settled into his new role. Like to have him be like Jesus Martinez from. He'll be the new Dennis Sales, because Dennis Sales was the only person we've done 2 hangouts with. Okay, so I've already done 1 hangout today. Jason, thanks for not being there for that one because it was all junior golf. So
I know. I'm ashamed.
Yeah. And wait a minute, why do you have sunglasses on your head? What are you doing? You're in the office today.
I'm actually going to play golf in about an hour. I tee off, and I haven't played a round of golf in a very, very long time, so I'm slightly excited.
Wow. Where are you playing?
I'm playing at Frisco Lakes, which is a Del Webb community here outside of Dallas, Texas.
Make sure you wear a mask because you're kind of in the epicenter of this Ebola stuff. I don't want you getting sick on me.
Exactly.
I think it's funny that Les just put sunglasses on. I don't know why he put sunglasses on.
This is my new ad sportswear shades.
Is it ads or ADS? Because I've always called it
ADS. ADS.
You should say ads. It's funnier. Okay, can we get focused on our guest here? I'm excited because, one, he calls me on the phone all the time, and I never answer because I'm at work, and I always send him an IM, and he responds to the IM as fast as he can pick up the phone and call me. So I apologize to him, and I'm going to do that publicly so this lives for eternity on YouTube, but I'm apologizing for never answering the phone. But we've got, and I'm going to call him a golf pro, but he's more than a golf pro. And we're going to talk about all of the different things that make him more than a golf pro today. But Dave Seeman is with us for today's episode of the Friday Foursome. Before we get to him, I'm going to let you know that this episode, as all episodes, presented by the Back9 Network. Les, you're wearing the Back9 hat. Point to the 9 on the hat. There you go. Boom. Back9. And this episode will also, now with the new relationship that we founded with Golf Life TV, you're going to be able to watch this on YouTube in the golf community. You're going to be able to watch it on Golf Life TV. You can see it all over the place. So I'm excited about that as well. And I'm done with that. Dave Seeman, welcome to the Friday Foursome. Do me a favor. Tell us who the heck you are.
Well, I've been a golf pro for, actually I've been around golf since I was about 10, so I've been in and around the business for a long time, and after playing college golf down at Rollins College in Orlando, I decided to turn pro because I thought I was this big fish in the sea, and I wound up being a little fish in a very big ocean, and started working at Grand Cypress in Orlando, and I don't know if you guys have ever been down there, but it's a great Jack Nicklaus resort, and I worked there for probably about 10 years, and got some great tutelage through some tour players, and also studied under Fred Griffin and Phil Rogers at the academy there, and it was a great experience, and kind of got me on the teaching bug, and took my first teaching job up here in Wilmington, Delaware, and I've stayed up here ever since. So I've been in the area for over 25 years, and it's been a good experience, and was teaching a little bit for Don Trahan's Peak Performance Golf for about 3 years, and now I've been doing some things on my own, and that's kind of where we stand. But love golf, love teaching. I have a passion for it, and I am going to let you guys ask me some questions. But before I do that, Les, I know that you have glasses on, and, well, you took them off, but you both have glasses, and I'm surprised that Ricky doesn't have them because hopefully there's no glare on the top of my head coming through. So we'll leave it. We'll leave it at that, and we'll go from there.
So,
well, there's a reason I'm wearing a hat.
Why are you wearing a hat? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
The same reason that I should be?
Yeah.
Okay.
So And I forgot to introduce Les and Jason officially, and Les gave me a hard time in the last hangout that we did. So Les from Pro Golf Now, Jason from Shop Junior Golf. Do you feel better now, Les?
I do.
Okay, well then, because I offended you with not introducing you in the prior episodes, I'm going to let you have the first question today because I feel bad.
All right. Good. Dave, do you teach online? Do you teach on air, or do you teach in person?
Normally, when I was with PPGS, I was doing a lot of schools across the country. So we did a little bit of online at the time, but now that I'm on my own, I'm doing pretty much personal stuff, and I do a little. I have a big enough clientele where I ask them a lot of times to send me information online, and sometimes they'll even send me videos, and I'll go through them and give them some response and do it that way. But I would say 90% of my lessons are done in person.
All right.
So you're more than just golf lessons, and you call yourself, or some people have called you, body friendly. What in the heck does that mean?
Well, it's funny. I basically what I have learned, and I've had a lot of, like I was saying before, a lot of great tutelage going through golf and learning the game and learning the swing, and before I went to college, I was going to be an engineer, and some things, of course, you don't do as well on the math placement exam, and all of a sudden you realize, hey, I got to change occupations. But I've always looked at golf as using physics and trying to use the body in the best manner to get the most consistent shot. And I learned a ton from Don when I was with Don, and I've basically just kind of taken what I've learned over the years, and I've come up with something that I think is really simple to learn. And we live in an age where I think golf instruction has gotten very, very difficult, and I think a lot of people, as you guys know, the game is, I think, not growing, and we got to find a way to make it grow. And I think the first place that the PGA needs to really get on board is changing the way that they have their instructors teach golf. I think it's a very hard game, and I've been fortunate to teach a lot of pro athletes from other sports, and they really have a tough time, and I've tried to make it as simple as possible with the least amount of moving parts, and I've had a lot of success doing it that way. So I just think that it's time in golf where we have to bring the masses back to the plate, and I know it's time consuming, and everybody is their time is precious, and going out for 6 hours on a weekend, a lot of people just don't want to do that anymore. So we got to make it fun, and we got to make it enjoyable again.
And I must be old school because I have no problem with it taking 5-6 hours. Like, that's my day. I'm excited about it. I go to the course early. I have coffee. I go play golf. I hit balls like that.
Ricky, are you married and have kids?
What do you think?
Of course not.
Okay. Okay. When you are married and you have kids, then you can come back and talk with us.
Well, I hope she's watching because we've been together for almost 6 years, and well, I play 36 holes every weekend, so maybe that's why.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's gonna last a long time there.
Now wait a minute.
What part of
Jason's
that kid
married
thing
and has
don't you
kids,
understand?
and he's playing golf today.
Yeah,
So
it's first
explain
time
that,
in a
Jason.
year. This is my first time in a year. So, right back at you for the argument. So question for the guest now is body golf. So I'm assuming you're trying to minimize the amount of motion that it takes to execute a good golf swing. And by the way, I've got a great case study. If you ever make it to Dallas, I would be more than happy to be a case study for you in that. But do you find that golfers that are hitting improperly or doing things incorrectly, injuries related to those motions, and how do you kind of work to fix that so that they don't injure themselves?
Well, the thing is, if you think about golf and you think about the higher handicapper, what do most high handicappers, where do they hit it? What kind of shot do they hit?
Right.
They hit it right. If they're a right-hander, they slice it. And I have a way of, and I've done this with all of my students, if you are a chronic slicer, I can get you to hit a draw within 2 swings. Now, I would like to put that, I'm not going to say question, but I'd like to put that out to most golf professionals and see if they can do the same thing. And I don't think they can. And I'm not, trying to toot my own horn, but I have found the secret in what makes the golf club square up, and it's forearm rotation. And if you use your forearms properly and you minimize your body motion, you can square the golf club up and hit it right in the center of the golf club every time. And that's kind of my premise. That's what I try to get everybody to do. And there is body rotation, but there's not a lot of body rotation. And most, I love going to a driving range and watching. I'll have a student, and I usually go to the far right end of the range so he doesn't see anybody else. And then halfway during the lesson, I'll have him turn around and I say, take a look down the range and tell me what you see. And and they'll go, oh my gosh, they have no setup position, they have bad alignment, they have bad posture, and they have no balance. And that's, it's normally too much body motion that's getting people into trouble.
Don't look at my swing, because you're going to have a field day, would be what you're going to have with my swing.
He must have just watched me somewhere.
Jason, did that answer the question a little bit?
Sure, great answer.
Les, since I apparently stole your last question, even though I didn't, well, I did, actually. I'm looking at your questions, and I blatantly stole it. So. Go ahead, Les. Feel one of mine.
I'm just going to ask it again anyway, because obviously my question was what was a body-friendly swing, and which came from me, by the way.
All right, I'll give you credit, Les.
But at my age of 67, that is a real important question, because the body doesn't work the way it used to.
Oh, I'm there.
Years ago.
51. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The pitching wedge that used to go 145 yards goes lucky to get about 85 yards now. So, is that limberness, or is that just I'm trying to make up power from the wrong place, or
I think
I'm doing.
But I think, I deal with a lot of, I would say, 55 and older people in the last, 3 to 5 years. I've been teaching a lot of them. And, the thing that I see most of the time is that, yes, we're not as flexible. Our posture changes. Hamstrings tighten. So there's a lot of things, my feet are killing me. But anyways, that's beside the point. But, we got a lot of moving parts, and the old golf swings that we had are not working. And all of a sudden, we're not hitting the ball solid. We're hitting it fat. We're hitting it thin. The other thing I see, too, is a lot of people get, everybody in the golfing community, and I won't use Gary well, I will use Gary Player as an example. I turned on the Golf Channel, and he's like, now I can't do his accent, but he says, now you seniors, you need to turn more, and you need to be more flexible. Well, he's probably, how old is Gary? He's probably 70 years old, and he's probably got about a 35-year-old body, because he's always in shape, so he can turn. And I'm not saying that I don't want you to turn, but I think most people have a tendency to think, when they think power and hitting it farther, they think body. And I have drills that I give people all the time to show them that the forearm rotation, if you get your forearms rotating quick enough and quit it with the body motion, you can create a lot of power, a lot of speed.
He is 78. No way.
Thank you for
like grit.
Are you the stats man?
I know how to use Google.
Way to go, Ricky. All right, 78. Let's just say a 78-year-old man who's probably got we'll go 45.
Yeah, he definitely does not look. When you said 70, I was like, nah, I don't know about that. Wow.
But the interesting thing about, if you look at two of the best golfers, and I would say that would be Nicklaus and Watson. Watson's scary. I mean, when he almost won the British Open, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, it didn't surprise me, because both he and Nicklaus went more vertical as they got older. And, I don't know if you saw the video I did, but I put out a video about asking Tiger to give me a call, because both these gentlemen in their prime knew that they had to go more vertical as they got older, and they both played great golf. And unfortunately, Tiger at, I don't know, he was probably 28 or 30, decided he wanted to go flatter, and he's been reaping the hurt body ever since. And so he needs to go. If you guys ever get a chance, speaking of Google Tiger Woods' video swings when he was an amateur, and you won't believe how vertical and how beautiful his arm swing was. And he's not doing that anymore. Well, I think he realizes he's got to get back there, but his knee and his body won't take the rotation anymore.
So let's say we book a lesson, and I come, and I have never met you before, and I come to our first lesson. What's that look like? Walk me through from start to finish, and what I experienced as a golfer. And I only booked one. I didn't book 5. I didn't book a book of lessons. So what's that relationship look like to you as a golf pro?
Well, the thing that I always try to do is, they're coming for an hour, and I want to create a relationship with them. And so I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to ask them, what are your goals? Are there any injuries that I need to know about? Has your knee been replaced? You have a bad back? How far do you hit it? What's your shot pattern? I'm going to ask a million questions in the first 5-10 minutes of getting together with a person, and then I really have to find out how much time do they want to put in to getting better. And I'm going to take some videos. I usually have a person warm up with a 9-iron and get a feel for their balance and what they're doing and their shot pattern, and then I start asking them questions and say, hey, what are your goals? If you may be a 100 shooter now, do you want to get down into the 90s, or do you want to be more consistent, or you want to work on your short game? It doesn't always have to be full swing either, but I just try to take that time and find out what they want, because they're the customer.
Okay, now let me say, you've seen my swing. My feet point that way, my divots point that way, my ball goes straight, and I'm consistent. Should I fix it, or worry about fixing what's?
Well, I think the thing that I would say to you is at that point, I would say, okay, what's your miss hit? I mean, why are you here? And you're going to tell me, well, I'm fairly consistent one day, but the next day I go out. I had my son the other day. He went out, and he's 10 years old, and he plays the junior up tees, and he broke 90 for the first time this summer, which was, he was just ecstatic. And the next day we went out, or a couple days later, and he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And he's like, Dad, this game, I'm not going to use the word, but he was upset. And I said to him, look, this game is crazy because our mind and our body are different every day. So I guess what I would say to you, Ricky, is, look, what is the thing that you want to get out of this lesson? Do you want to get better? You want to get more consistent? Let's set up some goals, some short-term goals and some long-term goals, and that's how I would do that.
Well, I've shot 79 3 rounds in a row, so I'm pretty consistent. But to answer your question, one of the misses, it's right. I don't miss left. I miss right.
Okay, and that's a good, hey, if I always say this to people, I mean, when I was playing poorly, I missed at both ends of the spectrum. I could miss it 80 yards right or miss it 80 yards left. Now I don't miss it left, and if anything, I miss it a little bit right, and I play for it, and I'm not out of bounds anymore. So I can play golf tournaments again, and that's a big thing for me. But again, it's what you want out of the lesson, and that's the thing that I really try to do with the students.
Les, what do you want to get better at?
Well, consistency, being able to hit the ball again off, with a little bit of distance again. That's what I want.
I want you to get better at asking the next question. I'm glad that you didn't ask the next question, because I thought to myself that I wanted to say that, and I'm glad that I got this.
How are you associated with the swing surgeon?
Well, I was his director of instructors for about 3 years, and we're no longer associated with, or I'm no longer associated with Don and his his company, but I have the very best for him, and I can tell you that I learned quite a lot under him, and I have the same passion. I wouldn't say as extravagant as Don. I know Don was on one time, and I know you guys didn't get a chance to put in a question. He just kept going. So, yeah, and he was go. But no, I have very fond memories of working with Don, and he's a very passionate man, and he's really done a lot of research, and I applaud him for that. And I'm hopefully going in the same kind of direction as Don, and trying to bring a body-friendly, more, I'm not going to say interesting, but easier swing to do for the masses. And I think that's what we have to do in the golf business right now to get a lot of people back and get people interested again.
So Les totally stole one of my questions, and I'm guessing because Ricky stole one of his questions. So we'll leave it at that, Les. But moving on, it's okay. Moving on. I know that you do a short game clinic, and I'm curious to learn more. What areas do you focus on when it comes to your short game clinic, and what are kind of the places that you highlight in that clinic?
Well, doing short game, and I've been very, very fortunate to have some tour player influences in the past, 25 years of, and I first started doing short game the way Phil Rogers did it, and Phil was pretty much took Jack Nicklaus in his later days and really prepared him to play better through his short game. And Jack, when he first came on the scene, was a great ball striker with a so-so short game. And now, once he realized that he had to revamp his short game and get it better, he went to Phil. So I have a lot of influences from Phil, and he's a great guy. He's a guy that you need to get on your Friday Foursome, and you will have a trip with Phil. He's a piece of work. But
I don't know him, so introduce and I'll have him on. And
he just get him from about chest height up. Don't get him below, because he's got one of the most. Well, I better not go there. Anyways,
this is a family-friendly show.
Yeah, I know. Phil's a great guy, and I miss him terribly. I haven't seen him in a long time. But getting back to the short game, I would say that what I try to do is I try to kind of marry the short game and the full swing. And my feeling is that there's really three motors to three different shots in the golf and in golf. And what I mean by that is the full swing is a marriage of arm swing or forearm rotation and the body kind of following what the arms and the golf club are doing. In putting, I feel that we have to get in the right posture so that our shoulders, if I'm standing here, our shoulders can rock up and down. So posture is very important. And motor for me in putting is your shoulders going up and down. With short game, it's kind of a mixture, but most of the short game shots are left side dominant, where in a full swing we're right side dominant. So what I basically show people is how the tour players. I really look at the tour players, and I've also had the privilege to get some tutelage from Kenny Knox and do a couple schools with Kenny, and Kenny has shown me a ton of stuff that was just invaluable. So a lot of my background, it's kind of mixed together, but I try to do the easiest thing for most people to accomplish.
Jason.
Does that help?
That did. No, that answered my question. I'm good.
Good. You were just like staring, like.
Yeah, no, I'm good. He's interesting to listen to. He's got great points. Like, I'd love to have a lesson.
Well,
anytime.
Your area, so make it happen.
Yeah, if he's ever through here, I'd love. Like I said, the course that he says he teaches at is right down the street from where I work.
Les, final questions. We started early, so we're going to end early. I keep looking at the clock. I'm like, wow, we got a lot of time left. No, we only have like 5 minutes left. But Les, you're going to ask one more question.
Okay. How does the bucket drill work?
The bucket drill, the famous bucket drill. Okay. Hold on, I gotta get a drink of water for this one.
Not what you were drinking yesterday. I'm just saying.
Hey, now, Ricky, come on, keep it clean. Now, the bucket drill. I use the bucket drill for, let's say if you're a right-hander and you have a tendency to hit slices and a tendency to be over the top like most higher handicappers do. What I'll do is I will get you to put your left foot on a bucket. And what I do is I get you to swing your 9-iron, and I tee a ball up right in the middle of your stance about an inch up. And I tell you, I said, okay, no weight on the bucket, so you can't have any weight at all on your left side. And what I want you to do is feel your weight in your right thigh, so you got to keep your knee flexed. And I said, don't move your body. All I want you to do is hit up on this ball. So you're going to try to, if you can picture this, your shoulders are going to be tilted up, your hips are going to be tilted up, your knees are going to be tilted up. So all your weight's on your right side, and I tell you just, hey, use your forearms, rotate the club, try to swing it up to up on both directions, and let's see what kind of ball flight you hit. And most of the time, if you're doing it correctly, you're going to hit a high draw. Now, how many of you can hit a high draw? Raise your hand.
I can hit a draw. I don't know. It depends on what club it is if it's high.
Okay, but my point is, I give people an opportunity to see a different ball flight because they're using a different part of their body and not using certain parts of your body. So what it basically does, the bucket drill will really kind of secure your body where you can just let your arms swing and get the freedom of swinging your arms. And that's the thing that most people just can't feel because of tension too. How many of you guys feel like you get real tense before you take it back?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, then I guarantee you're not independently swinging your arms, and that's one of the things that, if people can learn how to swing their arms independently, you would not believe how good you can hit it.
Wow.
You would have a field day with me.
Are you tense, Jason?
I'm like the world's worst golfer.
Well, I'll tell you what. I love this show so much, and I like you guys. I want to be on here again when you guys get bored and you want somebody else on and you can't think of anybody to fill. You can call me. I'll come on anytime. But I would love, maybe what we should do is have me down in Dallas. I'll give or we can all fly into to one place and I'll teach all of you and we'll see the before and after. I'll take videos and then we can post the videos.
Scottsdale's nice this time of year.
You don't want to fly into Dallas because it's Ebola scare, and I'm not taking any responsibility for flying anybody into Dallas right now.
Both airports?
It's just the whole town.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it'll be maybe a while until I come back to Dallas until we get this over.
Here in December when it's cold everywhere else, and here it's 85 and sunny. Jason, final questions from you.
I am good. I am all about ready for our Back9. He's going to be a good one for the Back9.
I know, and you just want to go play golf. That's all you care about. You're gonna.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of excited.
Do me a favor
Even my calendar reminder just went off on my phone to go play golf. So
that's awesome. Okay, so the Back9 is hold on. I got one more question. Videos.
Okay.
You record a lot of videos.
Yes.
How often do you record them, and do you have a plan of what those look like, or do they just kind of come up and you record them?
Well, it's funny. I do one a week. I usually try to record one on Tuesday or Wednesday, and we get it out on Thursday. I usually get most of my ideas from people that I'm teaching. And I'll do that a lot where I'll give a lesson on the weekend. I'll say, man, that guy just, he wasn't getting it. Maybe there's something I can come up with or a drill or, So a lot of times when I did golf schools or I'm teaching clients, I'll say, man, that's something I really got to hit into because most people do that. So I try to keep it as fresh as I can. And sometimes, I'll go back and do a video over because I thought it was very important. I wanted to correct it a little bit, but I try to keep it as simple as possible. And I like to keep my videos probably between 3 to 5 minutes, and I don't like to stretch them out because people get bored after a while. So keep the information clear and distinct, and go from there.
Awesome. Well, you talk about being able to come back on. In the future, I would love to have you back on because I feel like we could just sit here and talk for hours. I felt like I was like, oh, the test will take 5 minutes, and 30 minutes later it was like, okay, I got to go back to work because we've been talking for 5 minutes. So.
And guess what? I let everybody talk. It was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's funny. That's real funny. Okay, so the Back9, and we're going to change the name to Back9/Lightning Round, even though on the last episode, Chris Strauss kind of fumbled with his first answer because I asked him a hard question. I didn't think it was going to be hard. It was like, what's your favorite golf course? And he didn't know how to answer it. And actually, I don't know if you asked me that, if I would know. Jason, what's your favorite golf course?
I played a lot, so you want just one sentence answers?
Well, no, yeah, that's not your question. That's what I was just saying, that I want them to be rapid fire, but they're never going to be rapid fire because people think about it. But Jason, what's your favorite course?
The rapid fire is a good idea.
I know it is, but I tried. Jason, answer the question. What's your favorite golf course?
My favorite golf course would have to be the one where the Byron Nelson is at. Not that I've played there, but I've walked it twice now, and it's really, really cool. So
that's TPC Las Colinas, Four Seasons.
Las Colinas. Okay, Back9. Are you ready?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Here we go. When you play golf, do you walk or ride?
Ride.
Favorite PGA Tour major?
Masters.
Have you ever had an ace?
3.
Tell me about all 3 of them real quick.
Wow.
Okay.
I think that's the highest we've had on here.
Real quick. First one was at Wilmington Country Club, 4th hole in a charity event, 7-iron, little thin, right to left, went in.
In to win.
Second one, U.S. Open qualifying, Lanark, 3-iron, killed it. I didn't have enough club, but I knew I had to swing hard, and it rolled up the hill and went in. And the third one was I was doing a playing lesson with a doctor friend of mine at White Manor, and the third hole it was in the wind, and you have to hit driver. It was playing about 240, and I hit this driver, and I was like, man, it looked good. I couldn't see it go in, and I knew it carried the bunker, and I went up there, and I was like, I took my wedge because I thought it was over the green, and it wasn't over there, and my guy is trying to hit a wedge shot, and he keeps hitting it, flopping it in a bunker. I'm like, could I check the hole, please? And it was in the hole. So those are my. So I will go 7-iron, 3-iron driver. Now I don't know, maybe a putter or something. Who knows?
That's fantastic. What is your favorite golf movie?
I would say what is the one from Utopia? Utopia and probably Caddyshack.
All right, that's a good one. What's your handicap?
Well, as a golf professional, you're supposed to be scratch. So I'm going to say I'm a scratch. I would say I hover probably between a 0 and probably about a 2.
Okay, that's pretty good. Question you probably don't get often. Who is your favorite LPGA Tour player?
Ooh, that's been a good one here recently.
I know, I'm going to keep asking that one every week.
I would say not only to look at, but her swing dynamics, Suzanne Pedersen.
I'm just glad you didn't say Lexi Thompson, because that's an easy one because everybody knows who Lexi Thompson is.
Really impressed with her swing.
Be very careful how you answer this. Will Tiger break Jack's record? Why or why not?
Yes, if he changes his swing. No, if he doesn't. He has got to go more vertical, and if anybody out there who's listening to this knows Tiger, I want him. I want to get in touch with him. I want to give him an hour, 2 hours of his time. He can fly in, fly out. I just want to talk to him because I can change him.
And if that happens, I'd like to fly in and fly out right along with him. So I'm meeting you wherever you are.
That's going to be a secret because I don't want, with him, I would imagine you got to find someplace out in West Texas somewhere. How about that?
What is your favorite golf club manufacturer? That's a new one I'm going to start asking because I'm curious what clubs people like, what sticks.
In what year?
Right now.
Right now. That's a really good question. I would say probably Titleist. I like their equipment.
And what is next for Dave Seeman?
That's a really good question. I would like to continue going out across the country and teach. I'm looking at some different venues right now in the teaching business, but it's a passion of mine, and turning 51, or actually it's going to be close to 52. you know, I want to keep my foot in the door with golf, and I want to find ways of bringing more people to the game. And I think this body-friendly golf swing that I teach, and I like to say the swing's as easy as 1, 2, 3, and I think it really is. But you got to learn what 1, 2, and 3 are first. But I think it's going to keep people playing who are older, and it's going to bring more people to the game when they can find out that it's not as hard as people are teaching out there. So that's kind of my goal.
That's awesome. Well, Les, thank you for stepping in for 2 of these today. Jason, go play golf already. Jeez, I mean, it's Friday.
Yeah, Jason, you gotta give me a report. Email me tonight what you shot, and then we'll work from there. Okay?
I will do that. Not a problem.
Curious.
Hopefully we'll get 18 in. I'm thinking we're only going to get like 12 in, but yeah, hopefully I will let you know how it works out for me.
Please do. Guys,
awesome.
Thank you so much for having me, and it was surely a pleasure.
Dave, thank you so much. And as Jesus Martinez steals from what I consider the greatest golf movie, make more birdies.